to Whiskey Gaming, and this is my late review of Chasm. I played it on the PS4, it's also available on the PS Vita and Steam. Yes, I know, I'm finally playing something that's fairly new anyways. It's new to the PS4, I don't think it's all that new to Steam. Point being, it's not an old game. So let's start with the story. You play as a knight that you name yourself, and he is a member of a guild of knights. He's really a recruit, I should say, but basically he is tasked with investigating what went on in this small town. Because reports are that something came out of the mine in that town, and not long after, pretty much everybody in the town disappeared. Once you head into the mine, you discover a variety of monsters and creatures, etc. While you're down there, one of the people you rescue is an archaeologist, historian type individual, and he's trying to find out about the Ladori, which were these ancient people, and he's trying to figure out if something in that mine is connected to their disappearance because they straight up disappeared at one point in time. The story's interesting enough, I guess. It never really fully pulled me in. As for the audio, I enjoyed the audio. It has this retro vibe to it. The entire game has a retro vibe to it, but so does the audio, the sound effects, well, there is no voiceover, but the music and sound effects have a retro vibe to them. They do work well for the game, although I was never, really noticing the music and going, wow, this is excellent, or noticing the sound effects and going, wow, this is excellent. They're there, and they do well enough. As for the gameplay, like I said, this is kind of a retro style game. It's very much a Metroidvania style game, which there have been plenty of those, and quite frankly, this game doesn't do anything too significant to differentiate itself from any of those games. You explore, you get new items that lead to new abilities, you use said abilities to explore other areas, etc. We've all seen it before in every other Metroidvania game. That being said, I did enjoy playing it. I liked the switch up you get from zone to zone, as well as the introduction of booby traps. Because the first area, there's no real booby traps, it's just monsters. I guess the closest to the booby traps would be like the gas pits, but you can get out of those very easily and sustaining little damage, whereas in the next zone, man, there's spike traps, there's like lava pits, there's disappearing platforms, etc. So I did like the mixing up of that. I like that there are RPG elements in it as well. You do level up as you go throughout the game, which is a good thing. You also obviously get other weapons, other secondary weapons, armor, etc., and that all is fine, but again, we've seen it before. As for the controls, I think the controls work well for the most part. The one thing I am going to knock is I do wish there wasn't a lag between your ability to attack and dodge. The lag time between that is not devastating, but it's not amazing either. It can cause problems, and it can get you hit when you're not trying to. I mean, obviously you're not trying to get hit because you don't have a ton of health, and you were trying to dodge. That's what I'm getting at. That being said, I felt like for the most part they were very responsive, just that dodge mechanic was a bit of an issue for me. And last but not least, the graphics. I mean, yeah, that's not a great way to start out the graphics discussion, but I'm just so fucking over the whole retro look. The whole pixelated vibe is kind of burning me out. I get that it's a style, but it's a style that I'm getting sick of because almost every side-scroller now is doing that. Maybe it's cheaper, maybe it's easier, I don't know, but I'm getting burnt out on it. Like, I honestly, again, not trying to draw comparisons to this game and these games, but graphically speaking, I enjoyed Shadow Complex, Dust, Apotheon, and there's another one. Where is it? Salt and Sanctuary. Why? Because I like what they did visually. What they did visually was different from what a lot of other side-scrollers are doing nowadays. A lot of them just won't ditch this retro vibe, and it's a brand new game, but it's doing a retro vibe, and that's gotten old. Otherwise, color schemes, design, that's all fine looking, but I just couldn't get over the whole retro vibe thing because I'm just getting so burnt out on it right now. Okay, so to wrap this up, I can't say rent it because there is no way of renting it. I can say to skip it, sadly, because, well, it just doesn't do anything well enough. It just doesn't do anything well enough. Everything it does is perfectly mediocre, and like I said, I'm sick of that retro vibe. I'd rather go play a Metroidvania style game that has its own really unique art style. I already recommended a few. While I was not necessarily in love with Salt and Sanctuary because it's an incredibly hard game and I think it would be better 3D like Dark Souls, I had more fun playing that. I wanted to play that more than this. I really enjoyed Dust and Shadow Complex, Apotheon, definitely more than this. So yeah, just fully skip this game. It's not It's just not. Okay, so in the comments below, why don't you tell me if you're kind of tired of this whole retro vibe that people are doing with these side scrollers. And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. And if you like what I'm doing in general, share or subscribe. Have a good one.